So let's talk about the nuts and bolts of the lobby greeter ministry. We're going to talk about when to arrive and how long to stay. Now, this is going to be up primarily to your ministry leader at your campus to determine what time you need to arrive, as Chris stressed earlier. So get with your ministry leader and the lobby greeter, and they'll direct you as to what time to arrive. Preferably 20 minutes before the service begins, but make sure you run that by your ministry leader for the lobby greeters. And at the end of the service, we'd love to see it if the lobby greeters would come back out in the lobby and just love on people as they're exiting as well. Like Chris said earlier, reconnect with the people that you may have met prior to the service. That would just really show a huge value in how much you love on them and how much we care for them, because we do. And just imagine yourself how that would make you feel, especially if you remember your names, which we're going to teach you how to do that later on. You know, if this was your first time guest and you come out of the lobby and you as a lobby greeter greet them not only just by a hi, how you doing, ask them about the service, but also remember their names. Really values that person, and that would just be huge for me. And also look for people who are lost as they're coming out of the lobby. They may not remember where to go pick up their kids, or they may be looking for additional services as how to get to the connecting point or other information at guest services. So be watching for people like that as they come out of the lobby as well. And also, when you arrive, that's going to be there's going to be some house cleaning procedures that need to be dictated by your particular campus and the leader of this ministry, such as, you know, where your lanyard's going to be, but also, you know, make sure your areas are clean, make sure you're presentable, good hygiene, good clothing. Spend some time in prayer prior to your lobby greeting with your fellow lobby greeters, and just really set the tone for loving on people as they arrive.
All right. So now I want to talk a little bit about where you're supposed to stand. The first line greeters are those that primarily stand by the door, and they would be there ready to open the doors for any of our guests as they come into the building. It's harder to spot guests when you're working the door, but it's not impossible. So primarily you're just going to be there to kind of open the door and introduce people as they're walking in. On occasion, some people ask you for some directions and or information, but for the most part this is really primarily just there as a service to really welcome people as they're coming in. As people start to come up the sidewalk, open the door, step through the door and to the outside. Don't stand behind the door, because it's impossible for you to actually greet somebody if you're on the other side of the door, but really stand there, extend your hand to them and shake their hands and welcome them into the building. Don't make it where they have to like walk around you to get in. And make sure that you really respect their space and the space of the things that they're carrying with them. And this is really just an awesome service that we're doing for people as they're coming in, to make sure that they feel welcome from the very second that they come into the building. The second line of lobby greeter defense is kind of positioned about 15 to 20 feet away from the door. Depending on where your campus is a different place. You really need to check with your ministry leader on where the positioning is for this service particularly. People in this position will also serve as greeters. As they come in, you're wanting to make eye contact with people. You're looking for those that could potentially be first-time guests, and you're wanting to make sure that everybody that walks by you gets a warm welcome and a handshake if possible. This is another place, like after service, that you want to return to that area, and you almost kind of turn around. You say, all right, I'm watching people as they're coming out the lobby area now. And you want to make sure that you make eye contact with everybody as they're coming out. Send them off with a warm greeting, and make sure you're looking for those people that you met earlier in the service beforehand. And tell them, just ask them questions like, how was everything today? And man, I'm really glad that you were here. It's such a key part to this ministry.